So that's him.
Yeah.
She has more money than him, has more notoriety than him. Why would they need to fake this for?
I mean,
She's had famous relationships with famous people throughout her career. John Mayer. I mean, just a ton of people. So, like, why would he's been on reality shows? Like,
yeah.
they've done all of that. What do they have to gain? They're at the top of their games.
Okay, so I was listening to a different podcast.
Yes, tell me. The conspiracy.
Ryan Clark does it. It's called The Pivot. And he was interviewing a guy who was a baseball player he was on the podcast because he's talking about mental
health. Okay.
Because he shot himself.
And he's alive?
Yes, he's very much alive. He shot himself. Yeah.
Whew.
But this guy is, and I don't watch baseball, so I only know from the show, but he was at the top of his game also. And he said something that impacted me. He was like, it's always something else. There's always something more.
Something greater.
Yeah. He is talking about, I just want to be grateful and strive for more. You can be grateful and strive for more. Yes, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you don't appreciate where you currently are
Yeah.
if you strive for more. Yeah.
Anyway, so I wrote it down for that reason, but it made me think of it because there's always something more. And to be honest,
that is true.
As I'm a football fan, more than a Taylor Swift fan, but yeah, it's a whole new level of, I mean, I actually want to know what it's done for the NFL. Do you know that his jersey sales?
Oh, yeah. Okay. And their podcast. He and his brother have had a podcast, but it's now it's been number one, and his jersey sales skyrocketed, and yeah, so in that way, it is a thing.
It's a thing. There's always something else. And what else happened? My dad, because my dad is a major Swiftie.
I did not know that.
He told me.
But that just made my life.
No, I don't know, but he was very excited to tell me that. Did you know that when she goes into a small country, their GDP goes up?
Are you kidding me?
Because her value.
Well, wow. Can you imagine having that kind of pull?
Oh, my word.
And I've always heard nothing but positive things about her.
Well.
And how she is with her team. I've heard she's very generous with them, bonusing them after tours. And after, I've always heard she's got her people's back.
Well, that's good. Wonder if she went to leadership school like the rest of us.
She's just a good person. You can't fake being a good person. You know what I'm saying?
I think you can fake it for a little while.
For a little while. Yeah, for a little while. But not for... That is so boss. Can you imagine that you can, serenade your boyfriend in front of thousands of people in a foreign country by changing the lyrics of your song? Come on. That is boss.
I wouldn't know that the lyrics have been changed. I hope he knows the level of...
I mean, Karma is the guy in the Chiefs. Those were never the lyrics. Until now.
Yeah. Until now.
And he is so cute. And he is such a good dancer.
I have to show you a meme I got on the NFL memes yesterday.
Is it of him?
Yeah, it's him and his brother.
He is the best dancer.
I have to find it.
He is such a good dancer. Okay, let's get serious.
Okay, we're serious.
We're serious.
Are you ready?
So serious.
We're so serious.
We're so serious.
All right. Hey there, friends, and welcome to Becoming a Boss, where we usually take some time each week to talk with someone who is wrestling with a specific situation at work, but today we're doing something different. Although we have just begun, we already have a trend resulting from all the calls that we've got. Failure to communicate. All right, so we talked about this before, but I read that more than 60% of new managers fail within the first 2 years. Wow. Of course they do. And what is the reason for that?
Failure to communicate?
Yeah. All right. So, everybody say hi, Wallace.
Hello.
Wallace is here again with me. She's so nice. Okay, so I am going to tell you a story.
Okay.
It's not a happy story.
Ooh.
But I'm just going to love all your input because there's so many facets, and I don't think I can get through the whole entire story because there are so many bad things about it. You're going to love this. Okay. So a few months, I'm sitting at a red light. I'm minding my own business, and I'm rear-ended by this truck. A big, huge truck. Not a semi-truck, but,
a pickup truck?
It's a pickup truck, but it's huge.
Like a huge
It's
pickup
a
truck.
huge.
Okay.
It's the hugest.
Which, by the way, how come I never knew this? I never know this happened.
Because it's a saga. It's so long. This is months ago this happened, okay? And it wasn't a big to-do. Like, I was sitting at a red light. I was just sitting at the red light. It wasn't impactful.
Okay.
And he drifted into me.
Okay.
So it was like ba-boom.
Okay.
Ba-boom. So it was very anticlimactic. Anyway, but I met this guy, and his name is escaping me right now, but he was super nice. We had a nice little chat. Officer came, and officer's taking his time to fill out the paperwork, and him and I are having a wonderful chat. We talk about the working genius.
Oh, wow.
He's a galvanizer. I'm a galvanizer. And he works for an electric company, and he manages a team, and he's sharing with me the struggles of the industry. I know, it was wonderful. I had a great conversation with him. Anyway, so we're there a while, and then, you don't think anything of it. There's really not any damage. There's a hole in the trunk. It's like how big is this? I don't know, like a 50-cent piece.
Okay.
So it's in the bumper, not the trunk. I'm sorry. The bumper.
Okay.
So it's not
a big deal.
It's
the car's
not a big deal.
drivable. Is the car drivable?
Oh, it's
yes,
totally
100%
drivable.
Okay.
It's fine. It interrupted my plans for that evening, but other than that, it was fine. So within a week, I called the insurance company. I'm not going to pay the deductible because our deductible is, I don't know what, like $1,000 or something. So I'm not doing that. I'm going through their insurance company. He hit me.
Right. Makes sense.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
A few days go by, though, and nothing. Nothing is...
Wait, let's clarify. It'll be a couple of days for what? For them to call you? For them to get the car in?
For his insurance company to contact me.
Okay. Got it.
Because I've done my due diligence and called my own insurance company, and I filled out the report. I filled it out with the officer. I filled it out again online with my insurance company, and then, because that's just not enough, they had to call, and I had to fill it out a third time. But anyway, my people had what they needed. And he is like, give it a couple of days or whatever, and their insurance company is going to reach out to you. Well, their insurance company doesn't reach out to me. This was September 7th is when they said, oh, they'll be in touch. So just let me ask you, what is a reasonable time, do you think? September 7th, my insurance company told me they will be in touch soon. What does a reasonable person think that soon is, since you crashed my car?
September 8th?
Yeah, or 9th.
Or 9th.
And if we're doing a lot, like September 12th. Wow. Like a whole
that would
week.
feel like a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
For not even making contact. I'm not saying I want the car fixed by then, but like make contact.
Yes. So that's a very good point, because I don't need to have everything resolved immediately, but could you just let me know that I'm on the radar?
Exactly.
So 3 weeks later.
Nope.
I hadn't heard not a word still. And so I emailed.
First of all, let's have a moment of being proud of you for waiting 3 weeks without,
yes,
stalking somebody on the phone, which I would have done.
Well, here's the thing. We were busy doing things, and it was just a hole in the trunk.
Yeah, and the car is drivable. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
It's the bumper.
It's the bumper, yeah.
So it's not pretty to look at.
No, but my thing is, like, I couldn't wait 3 weeks because I'm feeling like they forgot about me. They don't know this is happening. Okay, so anyway, 3 weeks happened.
Okay, so 3 weeks happened. I email them. So I email and I include all of the information because I already have it from my insurance company.
Right.
So I copy and paste whatever it is that they need, because I at this point it's been 3 weeks. Surely someone is going to see this email because now it's been 3 weeks, so they probably are like, wow, this lady has waited 3 weeks. Clearly we made a mistake.
Right.
Let's reach out to her right away.
Exactly.
So is it a day that goes by after that? Is it 2 days that goes by? Do they call me immediately? No. It's 3 more weeks.
No.
Wait, 1, 2. Oh, I didn't wait. I'm sorry. I didn't wait 3 more weeks at that point. I just waited a couple of days, but I still didn't get a response. So what do? I email again.
Of course.
I'm from the corporate world. I've been training my whole life for this.
Yes.
So I take the same email I already sent and I do one of those per my last email with the, the muscles. And I, again, copy and paste all the information. And I'm like, hey, bro, could you please respond? Could you please just acknowledge my existence? Like you said, I don't need you to fix everything.
No, yeah, just acknowledge me. Tell me we're working on it.
Okay. So anything? No. So then life starts lifing, and I forget all about this. But I realized I still have not heard back. This is October 21st now.
Wow.
So I want you to, September 7th.
That's a month and 3 weeks.
Are you joking?
Month and 2 weeks, sorry. Yeah, a month and 2 weeks. Month and a half.
And does someone reach out to me on October 21st? No. I reach out again to them. I'm beside myself. But at this point, I'm like, surely this lady doesn't work here.
Right.
She surely doesn't work
Right.
there.
Just forgot to, yeah.
Because there's no possible way that any company anywhere allows their employees to ignore customer completely.
Right.
For
weeks.
whatever you said.
Yeah.
For nearly 2 months.
Yes.
There's no way. She
Month
doesn't
and a
work
half.
there.
Yep.
She's left for another position.
Right. And nobody's watching her email. Yep.
Anyway, so I email again. And I didn't hear anything for another couple of days. But you know what? A couple of days after that, I get an email back.
From the lady.
From the lady who actually works there.
She works there. Wow. Whew.
Deep breath.
She works there.
All right, now it gets worse. If you think all of this is bad, it gets so much worse.
So what did she say? Let me guess. Her email said, oh my gosh, we apologize and we need to get you in right away.
No.
No.
No. She doesn't say that at all. It's so bad. I don't even know which. You can decide which one is worse. She says 2 things. She says, 1, something to the effect of, I guess you didn't receive my last email. She says that to me.
She guesses. Wow. Wow.
Ma'am,
Passive aggressive.
I didn't get your last email?
Right.
I don't think you got my last
Several
Are you
emails.
kidding me?
Yes.
2 months?
And so what was in her last email? Just out of curiosity.
Oh,
the one
this
she
is-
never sent.
This
Or
this is the best
Wh-
part.
what was in the
there
email?
was no last email. She never sent it. There was no. Now I didn't check it at the time because I was, I was beside myself.
Yeah.
But I went back after the fact and checked. Did I miss her email?
yes.
And no, ma'am, there was no email. She lied to me. She
Wow.
straight up lied. So you ignored me for 2 months. Then you lied to me.
Right.
Okay. Breathe.
Did she, and obviously she didn't attach said email because it was never sent.
Oh no. No, nor did she reply to my other half, right? Because I'm replying.
Right.
I'm
Exactly.
Okay. And then the second thing she says is, I need you to fill out all this information. Guess what information it is?
The one you already provided?
4 times.
Yes.
4 times. Well,
Wow.
3. I filled it out 3 times. This is the 4th time she's asking me, are you joking me? Then she calls.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, I didn't get that email until I don't know when I got it. But she called me then. I don't know. I don't know what possessed her. Maybe, I mean, she clearly didn't care about me and my feelings because otherwise she wouldn't have ignored me for 2 months. But she called and I see that it's the insurance company calling me. So I'm already feeling some type of way about,
of course,
whatever she's about to say, because whatever she's about to say, I am not going to approve of her excuses. So she calls me and she's like, hey, and she provides some apology for, and I'm not going to get into it with her right now because I am not in a mental space to get into it.
Right.
I am in the middle of cooking something that I don't want to be cooking anyways. Okay. So I'm not going to take the time for this lady. I'm not going to hand her the power
Right. Of your piece.
of
Yes.
my piece. Oh,
Yes.
that's so good. Write that down, y'all. All right. So she calls and whatever. And that's,
So she offers an excuse.
she offers an excuse.
And then what's the path forward?
She says something about she was on vacation.
Oh.
And, I mean, that's that. She's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And she sets it all up and it literally took 5 minutes. And like, wow, 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I had more problems after that with the actual company that fixed the car. But in comparison to this lady.
Wow. I am wondering, not that this excuses it, but do you think they have some kind of a filing system of reports by like the condition of the car? Here's what I'm getting at. Can you imagine if your car was not drivable? This is your car.
Yes.
That you need to get from
A to B.
A to B.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if your car is not drivable and they're not getting back to you for 6 weeks?
Yeah, that was my question. Because I am at a place in my life right now why it doesn't, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine, even though there's a hole in my bumper. However, there was a time in my life and a time in your life when we could not afford 2 months of having no car,
Of
no
course not.
transportation. So I just can't even, and that's really the part that gets me all worked up is because who's speaking up for them?
Right.
The single mother who needs that job to take the baby to daycare and then go to her entry level job
Right.
and make ends meet, barely check the check. And these people are just flat out ignoring you. And what if the car wasn't drivable?
But that's,
They don't know. And here's why I can confidently tell you that they are not keeping track of such things. Because they couldn't even bother to respond back even
Right.
for 2 months.
Right.
So with that level of, I don't even know what to call it, mutiny.
And how can somebody go on vacation, which is fine, we all need a vacation, but then, and obviously the onus is not on her to have someone monitoring her email and keeping the work going, but to me that is like, and is there any quality assurance being done? Like I'm flabbergasted. I don't know how they stay in business like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the
No, of course not.
insurance company.
No, but I'm
because
just wondering. Yeah, no.
I'm telling you though, I can't. It's a big insurance company though.
How does that happen?
Yeah, so that's the first question because she allegedly was on vacation, right? But vacation is normal.
Of course.
PTO is normal. So, and it was an extended vacation. Was it 2 months of vacation? I don't
It
know.
wasn't, but even if it was 6 months, someone should have been
Yeah.
monitoring. Like the work doesn't stop because someone goes on vacation.
Yeah, it doesn't. It certainly keeps on going. So what did you do? Did you not tell your boss that you were going to be out? Are you meeting with your boss? Are you having meetings with your boss?
Is that a thing? Can someone go on vacation without their boss knowing? That's insane, especially for an extended period of time.
Honest to Pete?
Where's the accountability?
On any level, because she failed multiple times. But
Who is
her-
she accountable to, I wonder? That's the thing.
Well, who is she accountable to? Because if she's reporting to her boss didn't care either. Because he obviously knew that she was on vacation, and he, what I'm saying,
He or she.
Did you say it? Oh wow.
Yes, he
Look
or
at
she.
me. Look at me, gender bias.
He or she.
All right, so let me go back. The boss, her boss, was just not caring at all, obviously,
Right.
because
I mean, nobody did anything about
nobody
it.
did anything about it. And so pretend you're at your any job
Yes.
that you've ever had. Don't you tell your boss you're going on vacation?
Yeah, you kind of have to. It's almost like a requirement.
Yeah. And you know what else I have to do? If I'm going on vacation, I have to actually plan for my work to be done.
Oh,
I know. Novel idea.
There was a team I worked on where for you to take PTO, it was your responsibility to make sure you had backup.
Yes.
So you needed to go to the other people in the team that knew your account, that knew your work, etc., and say, hey, I'm thinking of taking off, blah, blah. Are you available those days? And only after that, then you would go to your boss and say, hey, I'm taking off these days.
Yeah.
I've already secured so-and-so as my backup. Is it okay? So like there was a whole thing to make
Yes.
sure that the ball wasn't dropped.
As there should be. Because this is a business. This is not a popsicle stand.
Correct.
Oh my word. So that is the first thing. Please take care of your work while you're on vacation. Yes, you should go on vacation. Yes, you should rest. Yes, you should plan for these things. And if it's unplanned, the boss has to step in and take
boss
some
has to step in.
responsibility.
And even if it is planned, there needs to be a system, which clearly there wasn't here, for who's going to keep this business going while you're away. And so, yeah, I'm mad at the lady, but I'm mad at her boss and at the boss's boss and whoever is, instituting systems here. Whoever's put these systems in place.
Or not instituting them. But
Or not
again,
instituting them.
this is a big insurance company that has been around for a long time. So the fact that they don't have their act together on a normal vacation policy is, I just can't believe it. I cannot subscribe to that.
And you know what, Megan? I feel like in those 6 weeks, there could potentially have been other cases that needed handling where the car wasn't drivable. I can almost bet on it. A
And
big
probably-
insurance company, I'm guessing that happened.
Yeah, and also people who were not like me and actually needed their car.
They needed their car and they were severely inconvenienced and their life severely hindered by this. And that is not okay. Do you think a big company, once you get to a certain level, you almost like care a little less because you know that your reputation is...
I don't think it's care a little less. I think that so I had this wonderful experience with a company who was very, very small and then it got to be very, very big. It was so, so good. And they're doing great and I'm happy for them. And honestly, I don't know where I'd even be without them. So all good things to say. But one of the things that happened when we were growing from small to big is that a whole lot of different things had to be figured out really quickly.
Right.
Because the problems that you face as a small company are not the same problems that you face as a big company.
Correct. Growing
And
pains.
So, yeah, growing pains, which is normal, but they have to be addressed.
Yes.
And one of the reasons I believe that that company is still very successful today and has continued to grow is because they didn't bury their heads in the sand. The owners of the company saw the problem, addressed the problem, moved on with the next thing. So burying your head in the sand, I think, is a common mistake. But as you grow, yeah, you're going to face more problems, but you have to face them.
You have to face them.
So I don't know. They didn't face them. They chose to ignore them. There's, what do they say? You're too big for your britches.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Your britches got to be big enough.
That's what I'm wondering. It's like, do you get to a certain place where you're like, so we lost a customer. And in this case, they probably didn't lose anything. Like, you'll probably never give him your business, but I'm assuming super nice electrical company man doesn't know that this happened.
I'm assuming he doesn't. I should call him, though.
I would let him know, because if he's so nice and all of that, maybe he does. I wouldn't support, even though because the thing is, here's the thing that people don't take into account a lot. It happened to you. That means it could happen to him. If that's their MO, it can happen to him. So, like, if that was my insurance company, I'd want to know.
Yeah.
Because I would then seriously evaluate if I want to give him my business. I'm really big on that. Just because it's not happening to me today, I don't want to ignore it.
Yeah.
Because if there's an MO, that can happen to me one day. And I would want to know.
Yeah, and I want the people who I do business with to treat other people well.
That's exactly.
I mean, I've banned shoe companies because I read something that I felt was not fair to people. And now I threw out the existing shoes that I had and I won't buy them anymore.
Right. You won't. And
I had enough evidence.
You'll need to tell offline what shoes they are so we can talk about that. But that's exactly my point. On principle, I would not, if I was the person, the insured, I would not want to give them my money. Yeah. I just on principle, I can't. It's not acceptable.
Connect with him anyway because he was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder
But he should know. He should know.
Yeah.
It's not okay. And again, it's not like I want him to pity you or feel bad for you or anything like that. But he needs to know that one day it could be him needing his truck repaired and they could give him the exact same treatment.
Ooh, let me tell you one additional detail. So I went to get my hair done after this, okay? Me and Tiffany.
Evidently, it's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. So she shares with me, because I was sharing with her, that the same thing happened in a situation where it was a corporate vehicle. So the guy that hit me, remember, he was at work and he was in his corporate truck. And so it's corporate insurance. It was not his personal
insurance. Got it.
Yeah. So I'm telling her the story and she tells me that the same thing happened to her when a corporate vehicle hit her.
Interesting.
She had to call a lawyer. Yes.
Not a lawyer.
Because why? Because they ignored her. They ignored her for so long she had to call a lawyer, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So I don't know, maybe this is a trend or what. Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just to think about. I don't know. All right, so number 2. So number 1 is, are you just completely not talking to your boss at all? What is, please communicate. The vacation, the time, the coverage. It's a normal basic expectation.
Right.
They do this I don't want to call people out. It's a basic.
It's a basic expectation. They do that everywhere I've worked, certainly.
Please.
Certainly.
Number 2, when you are very far in the wrong, an email just won't do.
Right.
This lady ignored me for 2 months and then sent in, which the body of the email, again, was awful. But aside from that, when you've ignored a person for 2 months, or if you have made a grave mistake, an email will not do.
Right.
It just won't do. It needs to be
much
a
less
phone
a
call.
passive aggressive one.
Oh, wow. Her content. We're going to get to her content. And apologize.
Yes.
Hello.
Take ownership.
Okay. Number 3, and this is, we're going to get to her content. Do not lie or assign blame.
Absolutely not.
How is that making me feel any better as a customer? Just say, I messed it up, or I'm sorry.
Yep.
Or if you don't know what to say, ask somebody.
The truth
Call
will
the
set you
boss
free.
line.
Yes.
We'll tell you what to say.
Exactly.
It's bad. It's bad. The fact that she emailed me already was making me feel some type of way, because you don't even care to
Pick up the phone.
Yeah, and then B, you're saying per my last email type of verbiage. Don't talk to me. I don't think you know who you're talking to, lady.
Whatever happened to the customer's always right.
It's a flat out lie. She flat out lied. I guess you didn't see my last email. I wish I could just read it to you. I guess you didn't see my last email. There is no last email. Oh, maybe you were thinking about that other customer that you ignored for 2 months. Maybe you sent her an email because you didn't send me one.
Right. And you know, the telltale sign to me is that she didn't include this email. Because if I'm honest, if I honestly did email you and you think I didn't, I'm going to want to make sure.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. You must not have gotten this email. Please see attached.
Yes. Or reply to all.
Or reply. Yes. I would make sure that in some way, because if that had been the case, it would have made you feel better to know that, oh, wow, she did email. Yes. Number 1.
Right.
So that, and then, yeah, that just, it covers her. It covers her tracks to say, no, I have proof I did not ignore this customer. So that's how I can tell that she didn't send the email, because she would have made sure that you had seen this email.
And the audacity for her to I just can't.
Yeah, a lie is not how you come back from that.
A lie is not how you come back from
Anything. But definitely not this.
All right, so that's number 3. And then apologize when it's your fault, but apologize when it's not your fault.
Yes.
Just apologize.
Just
because
apologize.
The bottom, like you said, what happened to the customer is always right.
Right.
And even though the customer may not always be right.
May not always be right.
Your literal job, like, you're being paid to take care of the customer.
Yes.
That's what you're getting paid for.
Yes.
I'm not getting paid
No.
to call you.
Right.
And email you and send smoke signals and sit in a corner and meditate on, please call me. I'm not being paid for that.
Right.
You're being paid a salary, and apparently you're getting vacation days too,
Right.
to ignore me. And I just feel like you should probably apologize for the mistakes that you made. And even if you didn't make any mistakes, apologize for that too, because you are one with your company when you're
Correct.
right. Reunited. When the lady called me eventually and I saw the insurance company calling, I already had my expectations here. And at that point, I didn't even know she emailed me and lied. I didn't
Here
even know
meaning low, at a low place. Yes.
Right. I forget people can't see me. My expectations are already down here because she failed to respond for so long, was obviously neglect. And so I just expected the worst
Right.
from this person to call me. I didn't know what she was going to say. And she lived up to that expectation because, like I said, she was dismissive. She gave a feeble attempt at an apology. It was terrible. This lady failed on so many. The company failed me. She failed me. It was just so many failures. Okay. Number 4. If you make a mistake and you need to reach back out to the customer, gather your intel
Yes.
before you call.
Exactly.
Because what this lady did is she took a bad situation and made it worse. I already answered all of these questions 3 separate times. For you then to ask me a 4th time on top of the disservice you've already done, I just...
Adding insult to injury, really.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah. And even if that was the normal process, I feel like given the circumstances, she could have taken what she had and made it work.
Oh, actually, it's good that you mentioned that because when she called and I spoke to her, I miraculously did not have to answer all the questions again.
Oh,
So she found them.
okay. There you go.
Probably because I already answered
Submitted
them
it 3 times.
3 times. Yeah. So that's number 4. Number 5, personally make sure that the rest of the experience is good.
Yes.
If you've already messed up gravely,
Yes.
then can you yourself, and this is, I'm only sharing from my own experience because I've made plenty of mistakes. My team's made mistakes. And in this scenario, I had this one doctor one time who was one of our customers, and she had a reputation for being very tough. Now, I didn't know her when I came on team, obviously, and I got to know her very quickly. And I didn't see her as such. She simply expected us to do the job like we said we were going to do it.
Right.
And she didn't tolerate mistakes.
Right.
And there were times when we made mistakes. Not a lot, because the team was very, very good. So there were very, very few mistakes. But there was a time or two.
Right.
And I called her directly. And I'm not the person, I'm the manager, so I'm not the person that's supposed to be calling her. But I care about my team, and I care about her, and I care about the experience that she's going to get. And whatever it is that she needs, I'm not going to do it. Somebody else is going to help me. And I am going to personally make sure that it got done.
Of course.
Because I feel bad. Because she expected us, and there's people depending on her too. Her
Right.
patients are depending on her, and she's depending on us.
Right.
It's a chain. So be personal about it. So yeah, you can't do anything about what's already happened, but you can go out of your way to personally ensure that it goes good the rest of the time.
Correct. This may be a silly question.
Okay.
But have you considered reaching out to the company directly?
Oh, I reviewed. Yeah, I left them a review.
Okay.
A very detailed review.
I would be surprised if they don't contact you.
I would love it. I would invite them to the show.
I would be surprised. Another thing people do, which I know you're probably not going to do, but another thing people do that I've seen companies react to is tag a company on social media, and companies respond to that. Why? Because they don't want their name besmirched on the internet.
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that, because when I was at the end of my rope, right before she actually reached out to me, I had in mind to do exactly that.
People do that, and that is the one thing I've seen big companies respond to really quick, because something you were saying, what you were saying with the doctor and your team and this and that, it comes down to reputation. You care about your reputation, your team's reputation. That doctor care about her reputation or her practice reputation.
Yeah, of course.
And so companies care about, most big companies, big and small, care about their reputation. And there's nothing that can travel faster these days
Then bad news.
than bad news on social media.
Yeah, I know.
And they wouldn't want that. Why would they want that?
I know, you're right. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
We've done our duties.
I am still just in awe of your patience because I don't like being ignored. Again, if you told me it took 6 weeks to get the car in, fine. But not 6 weeks to get a response. That is not okay, because the whole time, like week 1, week 2, week 3, I'm thinking they're dodging me. My car will never be fixed. That's what I would be thinking.
Yeah. And I wondered too, because the rental was covered during the time that it was in the shop being fixed. So I wondered, should I get the rental so that the insurance company would be forced to pay for the rental? And then maybe since I was sucking dollars from them, then they would pay attention to me.
Right.
I hate that my brain even went there.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm solution oriented. I just want to answer. I just want to fix it.
Yes.
How do we fix it? Yeah. I know. And I've never had anything like this happen with an insurance company.
Me either, I have to say. Me either.
And then Tiffany made me think about, is this a thing for corporate insurance?
Right. I've never dealt with corporate insurance before,
Neither have I.
to be honest. Just personal insurance. But
So-
I've never experienced that. And you know what? I don't know. I can be conspiracy theories and feel like, I wonder if corporate insurance, could this be their way of saving their clients money? Like, how many people might have forgotten about the hole in the trunk and just, you don't follow up again, and then you're like, I don't know. I wonder if could it be a plot to see, like, oh, maybe they'll forget about it, or I don't know.
I don't know either. Or maybe they just don't staff well.
You know, who knows what they're covering and how that works. I don't know. Either way, it's not right, and we need to do better.
Yeah, we do. We do need to do better. We need to. And also, we didn't get to talk about this, but I can't say enough about Mike Teasy, who graciously agreed to let us put his song.
That is so good.
Oh my word. He's paving the way for so many
And that
artists.
is so good. It just, it's like the perfect intro for us.
We will dig into that actual story at some point. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what God does through him. Before we go, if you want to see live streams, give us a 5-star rating, or you can share this episode with someone who you think that it might be helpful for. Or if you think that your story can help others, give us a call at 864-619-1683 to help us inspire and equip others on their journey of becoming a boss. And listen, friend, we know it's not easy, but remember that whatever it is you're walking through, you are not alone. And together, we can make the world a better place to work. Thanks for listening, team. Take care, and see you next week.
Self-esteems, I came out, ayy. Hey, my God, I'll make it rain in the drought. Even when I'm feeling low, I know he ain't running out. Cause I got a ram in the bush, no George. Take my hand, but it on my sword. Back on my Michael, I'm talking about chords, but when I'm in trouble, I call on the Lord.